Looks like we are now live, but everything seems to be working good. Hello, hello, and welcome. All right, so for today, going to be continuing working on some cosplay stuff. I see. Well, I see that it's thy fairy bot, but really a fairy bot active meow meow. Yeah, that's really Caw. Hello, Caw. How you doing? Aw, thank you, Caw. Thank you for the subs. Nah, thank you. Caw, I really appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Aw. You are the cheese lord. Back meow. But welcome, Caw, the cheese lord. Aw. And I see you have thank you for the little Kirby heart, and then you got a little Kirby blanket. So I bet you're all cozy. And get cozy because we're going to be doing some fun art today. So, hey, and it's Isaac. Hi, Isaac. How you doing? Yeah, going pretty good, Isaac. Uh, the plan is to finish painting all these pieces, like the base layer, the metallic, and to do the oil wash on all these Jinx props. So it's an ambitious goal, but I think I can do it. So I started yesterday off stream working on these pieces here. And I also finished another layer on this one, so it needs the copper. So I think I'm going to actually start with this piece and finish up the copper. And then I'll go back to these guys and do a second layer of gray. I'm just going to dab a little bit of copper on my palette. All right, some donut flavored cereal. Isaac, that sounds very sweet. That sounds like a very sweet cereal. Isaac, what does donut flavored cereal even taste like? Like, I know donuts, but that just sounds like sugar heaven. So since yesterday I put on the base copper color here. Now I'm just gonna go in with the metallic. Being super careful not to get any copper where it doesn't belong. A glazed donut flavor cereal. Oh my gosh. Sounds sweet. Very, very sweet. What's my favorite donut? Um, I really like where it's the just the traditional donut with the chocolate glaze and the rainbow sprinkles. That's always kind of my favorite. What's your favorite donut flavor, Isaac? So I'm going in with first the painting this piece before I go on to the second layer of the other ones, because I want this metallic copper really dry. I want it to give it time to dry before I go on with the oil wash. So before I have time to do that, it'll have lots of time to dry. And there's fuzzies. Yeah, I think the trickiest part about this is just making sure that I don't get any of the copper paint where it's not supposed to. Hey Isaac, that's a good answer. Your favorite donut is any donut you can get your hands on. That's I like that answer. Looking shiny, right? Pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny. Yep, so I'm kind of mentally ready to be done with this stage of the Jinx booms. Sometimes as artists, we kind of like, I'm like, all right, I'm ready to move on, you know? Even though I can't just give up, you know, I can't be like, I'm mentally done. I gotta just stop. Like, no, I gotta go finish this step, and I am still enjoying the process. I'm just like, okay, let's move on. Let's get these things moving. So that's kind of where I'm at. It's Win. Hi, Win. How you doing? Nice. Nice, Isaac. You're gonna do some voice acting practice later today? That's fun and exciting. Well, Isaac, I wish you the best of luck. And I hope you have a fun time. I hope you learn a lot. And I hope some doors open for you. That'd be awesome. Uh-oh. Well, I'm glad you're doing all right, Win, but I'm sorry that your internet's being weird right now. Always sucks when that happens. Yep, and I'm just covering the whole thing. Sorry, I'm a little out of frame right there. I just want to make sure all the areas are covered really well. There we go. Oh, and I almost forgot the speaker again. So, is anyone working on any projects right now? Or are you all just chilling, wrapped up in a blanket, all cozy? Or are you working alongside me doing painting or creating something? What's everyone working on? And so I'm only doing one layer of this metallic copper. I don't want it to be super bright or shiny. So that's why I'm only doing one layer. If I wanted it more shiny, then I would just continue to do more layers. Alrighty, so now that this piece right here is all painted in metallic, I am going to, there's a fuzzy, I'm going to put it aside, and I'm going to bring forward these pieces. I have to do a second layer. Yesterday I only did a first layer. Oh gosh, I didn't even paint the backs. I'm gonna paint the backs first. I didn't realize that I didn't paint the backs. Whoopsies. Alright, so on my palette, I'm gonna put some white. And also do some ivory black. And since I like to add a little color to my gray, I'm going to put some light blue in there. And you know what? Actually, judging by how much paint I put on here and that we are doing second layers, I'm going to put a little bit more black on there. Grab my brush, grab some white, some black, and some light blue, and we're gonna mix. Mix, mix, mix. Actually could probably use some more light blue and some more black. There we go. Mix, mix, mix. And I kind of add little bits of paint, little more bits of color until I get what I like. And I'm pretty happy with that gray color. So I'm gonna wash my brush. When working with acrylics, make sure you keep your brushes washed really well. The paint can get stuck in there and it can look not so good anymore. Can actually ruin your brushes if you don't wash them well after acrylic paint. All right, now I'm gonna put paint palette aside and bring forward one of the mouth pieces. And since I'm doing so many of these, it's kind of like an assembly line, which does help somewhat the process, because rather than if I just made like one, I would have to wait for it to dry, then go back, do another step, wait for it to dry again. Like, nope, with this I can just keep moving. There we are. All right. I'm gonna move this one forward and gonna paint this one. There we go. All right, now that I have that drawing, I have this part here. Hello, welcome back, Win. I'm sorry that your internet's not working. That really sucks. It's always most inconvenient when the internet's not working. I'm doing good, Win. Doing good. Doing good, just working here, painting. Yeah, hopefully I can reach my goal today of getting these booms done. That'd be nice. Well, I won't finish them today. I'm just hoping to finish this layer. All the metallic ones I'm hoping to do an oil wash on. Really? Really went. Oh man, that sucks. You had to go to your brother's house just to get your phone to work. Well, hopefully when you can hopefully the internet issues get solved quickly at your house. That really sucks. At least your brother doesn't live too far from you. Yeah, look how much more solid it's looking. Like the gray, it's no longer. Definitely having the 2 layers makes it look so much better. I know, extra work, but those tiny details are worth it. There we go. And then I have a little detail right there that I'm going to use a small brush for and do another layer of gray on that. Hey, it's Nacho! Hi, Nacho! How you doing? It's so cold outside. It's cold for us people who are used to the desert heat. Yeah, Alaska summer is right. Well, thank you for stopping in, Nacho. Hopefully, I can provide you with some entertainment as you work. There we go. All right, now all the solid gray is all good. That just has to be dry. Just has to, I'll just put it aside here. And I'm gonna bring forward the teeth again. The teeth. And put that one aside. But this one I'm gonna bring forward. And I'm gonna do a second layer. I know it's supposed to rain later today. I'm excited. We could use some rain. I like the rain. I know some people don't, but I do. Call me a weirdo, but I like the rain. All right, now that that one looks nice and solid, I'm going to put it aside and bring this one forward. See, it's all these steps that really take a lot of time. I think I said in a past like stream that it's so far I'm on hour 4 with these guys, so just to build them, paint them and everything up to the oil wash, it's not even assembled yet, or have any like graffiti paint on it yet. It's 8 hours. And I'm expecting all the rest of the steps will collectively take 2 hours. So I'm expecting, yeah, each of these little guys takes me around 10 hours to make. Art takes time. It really does. Ah, thank you, Win. Thank you for putting in the Discord. Oh, and thank you for putting it on my Instagram, which I know you've all been seeing the Renaissance Festival paint photos and videos I've been posting lately. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. All right, so now I'm gonna put this one aside to dry. And I'm going to now gonna do the second layer on the copper base. Bringing this forward. It is, I agree with you, Win. It is very fun. So to make this copper color, I'm gonna use a little bit of burnt sienna. And yellow. And I already have white that's still there. I'm gonna take a bit of the yellow and the burnt sienna and mix. Mix. When I have a color that I am happy with, like here, I will wash my brush. Gotta wash the brush really good. Make sure it's clean. Yeah, I don't want any damaged brushes. I have in the past not washed my brushes good enough from acrylic paint and that has damaged them. And then I am sad. I am sad fairy when that happens. Gonna bring this piece forward. It's still a tad wet, the gray, so I gotta be careful. You guys can see it good, right? Yeah. And just painting the second layer to the base of the copper. I'm trying to decide what project to work on next after these pieces. Like I'll finish up these Jinx cosplay props for sure. But after I'm done with these, I don't know, I might work on ears or horns, but if not, and I have like I'm gonna do a painting. I'm just debating on which painting to work on. I still have the Acceleracers fan art to finish. Could work on that. I still have my Huntrix fan art to finish. Work on that. also since the Ren Fair, I just have so much inspiration to do paintings of mermaids and fairies. So I could just something completely new. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But what comes first is the projects that have the shortest deadline. And these ones, I gotta get done before Game On Expo, so got a little less than a month, which I can do. I just need to work on it. Hey, it's Mythical. Hi, Mythical. How you doing? I see the dogs waving. Hello. Yeah, no, there are different ways of cleaning brushes and that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, but taking care of your brushes is very important. Otherwise, if you don't, you just go through a lot of brushes and it kind of sucks. Hello, Mythical. I'm doing pretty good. Just working more on these Jinx props. Just working hard. That's pretty much it. Getting ready for shows. Got some more shows coming up, which I'm excited for, but I'm a little nervous because I want to get my stuff ready. Get all my things ready for it. So many things. Yep. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I know I'm like more quiet today than I normally am. I guess you could say that I'm like extra concentrating. I'm also running all these lists in my head of what I gotta get done before my shows. I've never had quite a back-to-back show before where it's like one weekend I'm in one place and the next weekend I'm in another place. Um, the closest I've had is like when they're like 2 or 3 weeks apart. So this shall be interesting. I don't know. I'm trying my best to prepare and get everything ready the best I can. So that way, for both shows, so that way it's kind of like seamless for me. You know, I don't have to worry about getting ready for anything for another show. Like, I don't have to worry. And also, too, what I'm excited about is that we have I'm working with a group of artists to make a stamp rally card for Game On Expo, and that's going really good. Got done with my designs for that and sent the artist who's designing the prize that's going to have all of our work on it. Sent her my designs. So that feels good. That's like a really nice box to have checked off because I'm not gonna lie, I was getting a tad worried. It's just because I'm a traditional artist, so there's a couple more steps that I have to put into my pieces rather than just a digital artist. And so it takes me longer to make things and to get that digital image and that kind of stuff. There's several more steps that are in place for me rather than digital artists. So I was a tad worried I wasn't going to get it done in time, but I'm happy it got done in time before the deadline. So thankfully, my brother was there to help me, and Nacho helped me. So all is good. Aw, thank you, Win. Thank you. Yeah, I know I can, like, I'm not super stressed about getting these Jinx props done in time for Game On. It's just that I have to continue to work on them. Like, I can't be like, oh, I'll do it later, do it later, do it later. Then I'll be stressed out. So it's more like I just have to keep in the rhythm of getting them done. All right, so now that this copper base has its second layer, I'm gonna put it aside. Actually, I noticed there's a little spot to touch up, like a tiny dot. I like things to be perfect. And I'm gonna bring the mouths back forward, and I'm going to, and it looks like actually the gray kind of dried up. So I'm gonna put this forward. Put more white. I think I have enough blue. Maybe. I don't know. It's for the underneath part of these little guys. Yeah, I think I'll use up what blue I have on the palette. And then I have some black. And mix. Mix, mix, mix. And Win, how is your painting coming along? You also have the deadline of Game on Expo to get a painting done. Oh, really? You showed Primrose, the fairy, the glass window you made me? Aw, that's sweet. I bet you she loved it. That's really, really sweet. I like Primrose a lot. She is, I find her magic so inspiring, and I just, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love her magic so much. Nice. Nice. At least you're moving along, Win, with your painting. Still in the drawing phase. Yet, sometimes the drawing phase can be the hardest. At least I find that. But it's like once you kind of get everything into place, um, it gets a little easier. Aw, that's so cute. That's so cute. She loved it. That's sweet. Aw. I love the Ren Fair so much. I love the fairies. You go. All right, so now that the second layer of all these pieces, that is it. It is done. The the base layer of this prop here is done. I'm happy. All the pieces are moving forward. There we go. So I can't, these pieces here are still wet from the base gray and base copper, so I can't really move on to their metallic side yet. I have to wait until they completely dry. Otherwise the metallic can like mix into the solid color and it just doesn't turn out that bright and it doesn't look good and I don't like it. So better to just wait. So now I have all these like very bright and shiny metallic pieces. And the next step for these is to oil wash, which means I have to do a little setup for the oil wash. Oh gosh, we got time. We are all good. So I'm gonna scooch aside all of my acrylic paint and acrylic projects, that kind of stuff. I'm not gonna put it all away because I still have to put metallic on those ones. I'm just waiting for them to dry. But I am going to go and get out oil paint stuff. Teeth, exactly, when teeth. Yeah. I think when it comes to drawing, you learn a lot more. You learn a lot more freehanding at first. Because the only time I ever use actual tracing is if I'm in a rush to do something and I'm like, I know how to do this, but I need to get this project done. So I'm like, I'm just gonna skip through the whole drawing process and go trace it, which is rare. Or sometimes I'll be like, well, I already did a sketch of it. Why am I still trying to draw this when I already did a sketch? So then I'll trace my sketch right on the canvas. But if I'm trying to learn something new, I always draw it because if you don't know what you're doing, you don't really learn anything from tracing. It's better to draw what you're doing, and then something I like to do is to go back and have the image lay over your sketch, and then you can kind of learn that way too. That's a way of learning. Not everyone likes that, but I don't know. I think there you could see your direct reference of what you've done differently. No, but I think that's very good one that you are deciding to go the hard way first and hand draw it all first. No, that's good. All right. So, which lucky brush here is going to be chosen for this oil wash? I don't remember. What did I use last time? I usually use something kind of fluffy. Something like this one. Something soft. Could use this one for the smaller pieces. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm almost out of paper towels. I didn't even realize I was so low on paper towels. Uh-oh. Gonna get some more. Yeah, I think that would be fun when we'll plan a time to like all go to the Ren Fair together. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. So, the paints I use. So we're gonna start with the silver, and to make that like tarnished silver look, I'm going to use ivory black right here, oil paint. And also too, if you're someone that's doing this oil paint wash, yes, I have these ginormous tubes. It's because I actually do oil painting. And I do lots of oil painting, so I get the big tubes. But if you are someone who is just looking to do an oil wash on cosplay props, and you're like, oh, I just want to do a little, a little something. Honestly, the small tubes of oil paint will last you forever and ever and ever and ever because you only use just a little amount of paint. You really don't use that much because use some turpentine and water it down. We want this very, very watery, almost like the consistency of like a watercolor. There we go. And you know what? I'm going to situate myself a little differently here because I don't need my acrylic paint next to me necessarily. Need that all next to me. I can place these over here. And then I'm gonna move my turpentine and paper towel over. And then I have my palette moved over here. Like so. I'll move that. And then I'll put my little mouths here. Alright, so first. Gonna kind of paint the edges. With just a little bit of oil paint, and then I take my napkin and I rub and that's how you get the tarnished look. So I'm kind of rubbing away the oil paint, but I'm also at the same time pushing it around. Oil paint wash is like one of my favorite techniques when it comes to making props look dirty and gritty. I think I like it so much because of how easy it is for how effective it is. Carry on. I know, right? Suddenly it looks all like it starts off looking kind of cheesy, like that bright silver metal, but then you add the oil paint wash and it really gives it that metal-like texture. Aw. I don't know if my props are that good, but thank you, Win. Thank you. That's a very big compliment. There we are. See? Before and after. I think, I'm obsessed with this technique. I really am. Here, we'll put this up in the corner over here. There we go. Alright, same thing to the bottom jaw. But you see too how much I'm really not using all that much oil paint. Like a little bit really goes a long way. And the more I use, the darker the tarnish will be. Yeah, and this technique looks really cool on not just like props that are supposed to look like metal, but also to like bone. Really, like you can do some cool stuff with bone. I mean foam that is shaped to look like bone. Fake bone. Yeah, that um I've seen cosplayers make like bone armor and that kind of stuff, or like a witchy talisman and from various things, and they use the same technique for that. Oh my gosh, it looks so freaking cool. There we go. Hee hee hee. Oh my gosh. And just depending on how many like details and nooks and crannies there are, really depends on how long it'll take and how fast this technique goes. So it does take me a while. I am kind of slow with these Jinx props because of how many details there are. There we go. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh my gosh. Okay, that could have ended badly. See, there we go. Before and after. Aww. It's crazy. It's crazy the difference that it makes. I'm sorry. I'm geeking out over techniques. That's me. Alright, and then for the body. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna use the ivory black oil paint for the copper. I actually use a different color. I use burnt umber because it's more like brown, and I want the copper to not be too like matchy with the silver. Yep, and I'm just going around. And where I know where to put my oil paint is really just like in the creases of the prop. Kind of like any creases or folds or joints. Anywhere where there is any details. any corners. That's where I put a lot of it. Just like trying to put it in those corners. And that's because that's where the varnish would be the darkest, right? So if this was like actual metal. And it's completely up to you how much ever oil paint you want to put in, how dirty you want these props to get, how gritty you want it to get. It's Nacho. Thank you, Nacho. Thank you, thank you. I try my best. I try. I try. Try to make them look as good as possible. And see, it can always look like super messy at first. And just like, what is going on? What is this mess? And then you wipe it away and you're like, ooh, it really transforms. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So is anyone else working on any projects right now? Everyone's only if you want to share, you can. And see, this is me just like pushing around the oil paint. Oh, did you ask a question when I had to talk with my brother? Oh, let me see. Sorry, Win. Let me look. Which question was it again? Because I'm scrolling up and I'm not seeing the question. Yeah, Nacho, I'll help you if you want to work with foam. I'll help you. Foam's a lot of fun. There's definitely a learning curve to it, but I think honestly it's like it's almost like sewing where if you, as long as you have a good pattern and you just stick to your pattern, you'll be fine. Just stick to your pattern. Don't cut corners. Don't try to speed through it as fast as possible because then it just won't look good. And also be patient. Be patient with your foam smithing. Oh, you're just drawn. Just drawn, Win. That's cool. Yeah, I remember you said that you were working on drawing the face. Nacho, I'll help you with whatever foam smith thing you want. Any project. Choose your project and I'll help you. And I'm excited too to get to the graffiti art side. I'm really, really excited. Maybe that's what I'll plan to do Friday. Maybe. Depends on how dry they are. If they're still tacky, because as you know, oil paint takes time to dry, then I won't do it. But today I'm gonna try to finish these the best I can. I also have ears to finish. Yeah. And there's so many like nooks and crannies in here. And I don't want to leave any surface, you know, like unattended to. No surface forgotten about. Ooh, yes, getting back to the Halo stuff. That sounds like fun, Nacho. I want to too. I don't know when I'll ever get to my grunt, but she's still on the list. Still on the list. Still in the cause plans. You know, I'm just going around this whole thing and I'm just painting both the top and the bottom. There we go. Yeah, all right. Nope. I'm actually gonna grab it from here. Sometimes I'm like, which way do I hold it? All right, here we are. Got one top of one boom, almost fully oil washed. And I say almost because all the silver's done, but I still gotta do the copper. But I think I'll just put this aside and I think I'll do all the coppers together. Like all the coppers together. Just kind of piece them out to like that. Adjusting small little nooks and crannies I have forgotten about. There we go. Before and after. Yeah, I like it. Yep, and then I'm gonna just put that aside. I'll go back later and do the copper. Where's another mouth? I'll do another one. I'm running out of space on this napkin. Yep. I put, so the little clip that's here, that's like all bent, that has wire in it. And why it's bent weird like this, it's just so I can paint it, but I'm gonna fold it down when it's all dry and everything. It's just easier for the painting process. Yeah, this will be a nice thing to check off my list of things to do, projects to get done. I know this one's been ongoing for a while, and I'll say that the cosplayer who commissioned me these has been very patient, and I appreciate her for that hugely. Um, yeah, I appreciate actually a lot how patient she's been. There we go. Another mouth or bottom jaw. Let's do a bottom half here. Um, how can I refold this? Because trying to figure out a way I can refold this to I want a tight little corner like that. I think that's what's gonna like work the best for me. Yep, teeth. It's tricky doing the oil wash on bottoms because of all the little bolts. The little bolts definitely they add a challenge for sure. It's funny, it's not a difficult technique at all. It's just time consuming. That's the hardest part is uh, how time consuming it is. And some things are like that when creating. It's not difficult. It's just takes time. Thank you, Win. Thank you. I'm definitely trying my best. I'm trying my best to make them look the coolest that I can. Hey, it's Evo Leia. Hi, Evo Leia. How you doing? Good to see ya here. And thank you, Evo Leia, for the hearts. I appreciate hearts. Aw. Yay, I'm glad you do, Evo Leia. I'm glad you do. Nah. That makes me happy that you like to see the process of how I make things, and hopefully I can keep it entertaining too with always having something different. something unique. And I'm doing good, doing good. I've been very busy. My brain feels very full with lists and things to do. I'm getting ready for more shows, so getting ready for those, and there's always a lot to prepare. Aw, thank you, Lynn. I'm glad you like seeing the progress too. Yeah, I think the one that takes the longest is definitely the bottom half of the prop. I'm hoping to finish this bottom half before the stream ends today. That is my goal, which means it takes about an hour to do just the oil wash. Well, maybe longer because I still have the copper to do, so maybe it's like an hour and a half process. Sorry, I'm like thinking out loud. I'm trying to time myself so I can accurately, like when people ask for more commissions, I can kind of accurately tell them how long it'll take. Yes, it is the fairies workshop right here. A little different than Santa's workshop. Yeah, it takes a lot of skill and effort to do this, and you got to have a lot of passion, I think, for cosplay. And when making cosplays, you got to have passion because it takes so much time and effort and skills to learn that I feel like if you don't have the passion for it, uh you just won't have a fun time, or you won't see it as being worth it in the end. This oil paint almost looks like ink. Inky ink. All right. I think that's good. What do you think? I think it's looking pretty solid. I didn't miss any nooks or crannies. Actually, I did. Aww. Ah, no, you're right, Win. Gosh, where did the time go? It did not feel like 2 hours just passed by at all. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so I got a 1.5 of the mouths done, 1.5 teeth. And half a top done and a bottom. All right. Well, I say I made pretty good progress today. Thank you, Win. Thank you. Yeah, you know what? I think the progress is pretty good. I didn't hit my goal of wanting to get like all the oil wash done that I wanted to because I have more ones and this one over here didn't get metallic, but I'll get it to later today. Wait, excuse me. Ah, I swear I'm not sleepy. Maybe I am. Maybe I need a nap. I don't know. No time for naps. I must get this done. Alrighty. Well, on thank you, Lynn. Well, thank you everyone for joining today. It was really awesome. I think I made really good progress. I'm happy with it. Even though I didn't hit my goal, I am still really happy with how everything is looking. Aw, thank you, Win. Thank you. Yeah, and I hope you all enjoyed seeing the process. I will be here Friday. Let's see. Maybe on Friday I'll work on the graffiti art of these little guys. Maybe, maybe not. It'll really depend on what how dry the oil paint is. If it's still tacky, I won't. If that's the case, I'm probably gonna work on animal ears. If you guys want to see the process of how I make all those fantastical ears, because I do have a lot of them to finish and complete before my shows. Alrighty, well, I'll leave it as a surprise for Friday. But thank you everyone, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Alrighty, bye!